Hello everybody. I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. Yesterday was Halloween and I did do a Halloween look, and my daughter said you have to show people how you did it. So I'm gonna be on here. I'm sorry I didn't get to jump on more this week. It's been super busy here, but as promised, I am gonna do a Halloween look even after Halloween. These are the two main palettes I will be using. I will have a couple others, but I use these mainly on this look, and it is the Wet n Wild F&M Makers palettes, and it's in Boogie Nights and Pick Your Poison. So I already primed my face, and today I used the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer, and this one's a really good, inexpensive primer that just smooths out and hydrates your skin. They do have other options as well, but this one works with me really good. I want to try the blemish one because it's supposed to help with pores and all that stuff, and I have super large pores. But yeah, so let's get started. I am going to add this on top of my primer today. It is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Stick It to Pores Mattifying Stick. And all this is, it's like a deodorant, but not a deodorant. But it looks like one. And all you do is twist up like a deodorant, and there's this balm that's in there. And what it, excuse me, what it does is you just put it on the spots where your pores are very large, or you can see them, you know, they look humongous. Like my face does. I just rub it on. At first, it might be a little difficult, but once you touch it with your skin, it will warm the balm up. That way it's so easy to apply. And I get my pores large right here, weirdly above my eyebrows, and nose. And then once you start rubbing the balm on, or the stick, whatever you want to call it, it melts into the skin and starts to hide those pores, which is great. You can put it anywhere really. I like to put it all over my face. Sometimes I only put it in the spots that need that, treatment, but tonight I'm going to put it everywhere because it does help. And I got this at Walmart, good price. I really like Hard Candy. Some of their products are but this one's a decent one. Okay, so then once you do that, you're just going to rub it and pat it in like you would any other primer. You can always mix primers together. I do all the time, depending on their features. Okay, so you're just going to rub it in gently. You don't have to rub hard. And then tap into the places that you want it to soak into the skin. Okay. All right. Now, usually you wait about 5 minutes for your primer to do its job, but I'm in a rush today, so I'm going to just keep on going. I'm also going to be using a Hard Candy foundation tonight, which is the Glamouflage Full Coverage Foundation in the color Buff. This is at Walmart as well, and it's a really nice full coverage foundation for a really good price. And I really enjoy using it. It works really nice. It lasts a long time, which is amazing. Doesn't break, doesn't separate, and it blends very well with other products. So give it a shot if you have, a Walmart near you. This is a great product, and it comes with a big doe foot applicator, and it looks like this. A lot of the product will be on the inside, so be careful. And I start off with doing 3 lines on each cheek. Under the chin, forehead. You can always add more, of course. Just start off with some product on your face. Oh, and I just wanted to tell you guys this will be a 2-part video because I have to take a quick intermission to get the other products that I want to use. But my look today, the Halloween look I'm going to be doing, you guys, it's orange eyeshadow with a black winged liner, a thicker wing, and little spiders hanging off a little, like the web would be my lash line. It's really cool. Came out really nice, and my daughter's like, Mom, you have to do this. You have to show them on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing it for you guys. Sorry it's a day late, but at least I'm going to get on here and do that. And I might jump on and do a couple other ones. I didn't get a chance really to do any Halloween makeup this past week, and it really bummed me out. I've just been super busy. But here we are now. And like I said, if you guys have any looks you want to see, any products that you want to test or review or want me to review, definitely send me a message. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, wherever you guys have, let me know. Comment below and I will give you the details on how to contact. How was your guys' Halloween? Did you have a good time? Did you guys, I don't know where you guys are located, but if you're out of state, did you guys get to trick or treat? We did. Connecticut didn't cancel. So this is just one layer. Really quick, I wanted to, before I continue with Halloween, this is one even layer of that foundation, and it looks really good. It's buildable, you guys, so that's a good thing, because I have super, super dark circles and redness. So before I put that other layer on, I'm going to do a little trick. I love this, excuse me, hair. I love this stick concealer. This is a stick concealer from Revlon. It's the Revlon Photo Ready Concealer in the color Fair. And it looks just like this. What I do with this is you can do it before foundation. You can do it after foundation. You can do it between like I do. But see how bad these divots are under my eyes? I can't stand them. So to brighten them up a little bit, I'm just going to use a little bit of this stick concealer right before I add the second layer of foundation. And this works really good at hiding and brightening. You know, hiding any darkness and brightening up the under eye area. Like I said, you can use this after as a highlighter concealer, but I like to save those for the liquid concealers. Sometimes I put it on my nose if it's really red. Any other red spots, just do. It'll blend right in, which is great. Doesn't have to be perfect because it is going to be blended in with your foundation. Alright, so that's about it with that one. Very good. I love the Revlon one. It really does a great job brightening. That's why I always purchase that one. So I'm just going to take my foundation brush and just stipple or blot it in to those areas. And look at that. So much better already. I love that. The effect, the results are incredible. So that's why I like to show you guys step by step. That way you see what I'm doing. And if you like it, you can do it yourself. You know, that way you know what products I've used, what methods I've used, etc. But just blot it in. You don't have to like swipe really hard. You just blot it into those places. There we go. But it does do an excellent job. So now I'm going to go back to the foundation, the Hard Candy Glamouflage Full Coverage Foundation. Do the same steps. 3. And this tube has lasted me a very long time, which is great. Sometimes foundations, you know, their tubes are really small and you don't get a lot for the money you spend. This one, you definitely do. It's not a lot of money. It looks like I'm coloring on my face right now. Sorry, guys. And I always get the neck on the second go around because you want it to match. Okay. Make sure you have it. I do a little doot, doot, because you want everything to match. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is take my brush and just blend it all out. And this foundation doesn't have a chemical smell or anything like that, which is great. Some products have like this chemical smell and it smells terrible. Thank God this one does not. Because that's when I don't like to use the product, if they smell really bad. Even if they have good results, it steers me away from purchasing them again. But now it's not so dark under my eyes, and that's what I needed, because I get super dark circles. I haven't really been, excuse me, my allergies too. I haven't really been sleeping that well, so that's where the dark circles come from. Oh, so Halloween. It was super cold here. Super freaking cold. But the kids had a great time. My daughter, my sister, they all had a really good time, which was great. They got candy. People were handing out candy. which I was surprised because when we were driving to the location we were going to, there was nobody. There was no kids, no lights on. I was like, oh shoot. We are going to be traveling to this location for no reason. And that would stink. But when we got there, there were people there. So that's a good thing. Okay. So now that I blended it with the brush, the foundation brush, and that's a Real Techniques brush. I love these brushes. They work great. They blend out great, and you don't have to put much pressure on to get the results that you want. They're one of my favorite holy grail brushes, I would say. Okay. Next is this beautiful beauty blender. This is my favorite so far of beauty blenders. It is the Japanesque Beauty Blender. This is another brand product you can get from Walmart, which is not too expensive. And it is a denser beauty blender, which I like because the water, it comes out and you don't, it's not like gridlocked with water, where then when you go to push it on your face to push the product in, that it leaks all over your face. This does not do that, and that makes me happy. Some of the ones that I've tried, they keep that water, and even though you squish it out and towel dry it, and then when you go to push the product in, it's all down your face and ruins it. So this one absolutely doesn't do that. Super affordable, and it works like a charm. Love it. And when you're using your beauty blender, just tap. Don't do swipes, because otherwise you're just moving that product around, and you don't want to do that. You just want to get it set into that skin. Even under the eye. This beauty blender is very gentle, so it's not going to damage any skin, which is a plus. Okay. So once we set with the beauty blender our foundation, it's concealer time. So for concealer, the liquid concealers that I'm using today, I always, just so you guys know a rule of thumb, I always picked up 2 kinds of the same concealer, 2 different shades, excuse me. Coffee time. Coffee all day long. But I always pick a perfect match that matches the foundation shade or close enough to it. And then I pick up a brightening concealer, because what I use the perfect match concealer for is to cover blemishes, dark circles, pimples, all that stuff, any redness that I, want to hide more of. That's what I use that for. The lighter shade, which you want to go 2 to 3 shades lighter than your foundation to brighten up the area, is my highlighter concealer. So today I'm using the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Contouring Concealers. And I have the shades, let's see, Natural and Vanilla. Natural is going to be my perfect match, so I'm going to start with that. And I'm not going to use too much of it. That's what the doe foot applicator looks like. It's very easy to use. It's not stiff, which is a good thing, because if the doe foot applicator is too stiff, it can, make your under eyes super sore, because it's not going on there smooth. So that's why I like certain, doe foot applicators over others. That's all I'm going to use with that one. That's it. I don't have any pimples or acne going on right now, so I'm just covering my circles and right around here where my redness is. So I'm not going to use a concealer brush for that. I'm just going to use my beauty blender and tap it in to those areas to hide those imperfections. I like NYX products. They are really great. There are so many different things to choose from. I actually just picked up their BB cream that I want to try. I haven't tried it yet. I actually have never tried a BB cream yet, you guys, so I'm super excited to try it. I heard it's supposed to be really moisturizing and hydrating to the skin, more so than foundation. So I'm super excited to try that, because I have super dry skin, especially with the winter coming up. That is going to be brutal to my skin. Make sure you get it all blended in. Excellent. So next I'm going to be going in with the shade Vanilla. Now this one's going to look like I'm putting a lot on, but it's not once you blend it out, I promise. Same doe foot applicator. And you're just going to put it under the eye and swoop. This is going to create that lift that you want. You don't want to go down with your concealers. You always want to go up. Okay? So then I'm going to put a line here, upper lip, And then boop, 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 boop. Like I said, it's going to look like a lot, but once you blend it out, it's not. Tip of the nose, down the bridge of the nose, and then arch it out, 3 lines. Okay, so now what you can do, which, should I do it? I'll do it. I'm going to use a concealer brush. You don't have to. And I'm just going to evenly spread this out. And I'm going to put some on my eyelids as well. You don't have to do that. You can always use an eyeshadow primer. But if I'm in a jam where I need to be quick, I just throw some concealer on my eyelids, set it with some powder when I set the rest of my face, and it's good to go. I know there's a lot of controversy about that, where, you know, it'll crease, it'll, you know, look terrible after a while. But what I've been through, you know, my experience with it, as long as I set it with powder, it lasts. I never had a problem with it. But it also depends on your skin type, you guys. You can't always judge other people's, you know, products or makeup routines. It all depends on the way your skin is. If it's oily, if it's dry, if it's combination. Everyone's different. Some people break out over fragrances like me. Some people don't. It just all depends. Now you want to brighten the center of your face. So basically it looks like a heart going down. And then you're going to darken the outer part when you contour. It's just to brighten up those spots you want people to see. Okay, so now after the concealer brush, you're going to go in with your beauty blender and just tap it in, just like you did with the other concealer. Tap in the eyelid as well, since you put concealer on there. And it just brightens it up so nicely. These NYX concealers are wonderful. They last a super long time during the day. And like I said, as long as I set these NYX concealers, they don't fade. They don't break. They don't separate throughout the day. Which is a huge plus for me because some days can be long and you can get sweaty, or you can, you know, stress sweat. There's a lot of people that, you know, sweat when they're stressed. I do. And then it moves your makeup around. You don't want that. So this one's a really good choice for you guys. If you're trying to brighten, if you're trying to have a concealer that lasts a very long time, this is a very good product for you. And you can find it. It's at Target. It's at Walmart. It's at drugstores. Very easy to find too. Very easy product to find. Okay. Alright. So that's what it's going to look like. It just brightens that whole section up for us. So now what I'm going to do, and now this is different for everybody as well. It depends if you use a creamy contour or a powder contour. Bear with me. I like to use the creamy contours just because they work really well for me. You don't have to, but that's what I like to use. And to be honest, I use foundation sticks. These are the best ways to do it. You know, you can use concealer, darker concealer. You can use a darker foundation shade. There's contour sticks. There's different things to use. I haven't showed you guys this trick yet, but these are my ultimate holy grail contour sticks. I haven't done a review on these anywhere yet because I've been saving them because they're my favorite to use. And I wanted to try new sticks and new powders, but I always go back to these. So let's get started. I think they're both, yeah. They're both L'Oreal Paris Infallible Longwear Shaping Sticks foundations. And one's in the color of tan and one's in the color of honey. And you know, this tan one, I love it. It has more of a neutral ashier tone, which works so well with contouring because contouring is what defines your bone structure. You don't want it to be looking like you're tanning. You're just looking to define it. Now, of course, I am going to put a darker toned color on top, but this is where I'm going to get my contour out of, okay? And you can even contour your nose with this stick foundation. It works really, really well. It goes on so incredibly smooth, blends so nicely and so easily, to be honest with you guys. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the tan one. I'm done with the tan one. Now I'm going to grab the color Honey. That's what it looks like. Just a push-up stick foundation. And I'm just going to do this. Just a little bit. Not all the way down to the hollow of my cheek. And just dot it or swipe it a little bit. You don't need a lot of this one because it can come out too dark. So just be gentle with it. Do that. You want to make your nose look smaller when you contour. And when you use a creamy contour, you want to wait to set your face with powder, because if you put a creamy product over a set after your face is set with powder, it will get muddy. It'll look awful. It'll really start to look like it's cracking super bad, and you don't want that. So I just take my foundation brush that I used that same day, and I start, this part I rub in, or brush in, whatever you want to call it. And I brush downwards as well, because it's just giving me a shadow on my jaw, so it hides any like double chin action or whatever you want to call it.
Sorry.
Don't mind the background. But for the cheeks, into the hollow of the cheeks, you want to stipple. That way it doesn't move the rest of the other products around. And it gets a really nice contour out of it. And this is what defines your bone structure. So just keep stippling and keep stippling. And then with your nose, I do the same thing. I just stipple it also, because you don't want to move everything around. And this is how you make your nose look smaller. And you bring it all the way up to your eyebrow, because that's where your nose naturally starts. Forehead, I do this. I rub it a little bit while I stipple. And I go in towards the hairline. I don't want to go out towards the forehead. I want to go in towards the hairline. Just like that. Okay. Make sure you blend very well. If you don't blend, then it's going to look really funny. Really funny. You don't want to look funny going out of the house. And you can always add more of that one if you need to. A little bit goes a long way. But to deepen or darken the contour, just add a little bit more of that darker shade. That's what I do. Then just stipple it in some more towards the hairline. And again on this side. Then do that as well. Make sure it's super blended out, you guys. Make sure. But look at now, it defines it. You can actually see where the cheekbones start down through the hollow of the cheek, which that's the magic of makeup. And that's the fun part too. You can change kind of what you look like and who you look like every day. Okay. So I'm going to end this part on a note of setting my face. But before I do that, always just tap it with a beauty blender to make sure it is all blended in and set. Then you're going to take your powder. You can either use loose setting powder or finished powder, and then you can set your face with it. So I'm using the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in Translucent, and it looks like this. It actually smells pretty good. You know, some people don't like the smell, but I do. It's florally, I guess you can call it. But when you use a loose setting powder, you want to make sure you dab off any excess. So I just smack it on my hand. And then I rub it down the neck. And then dab it all over the face. Because you don't want to put too much powder all over your face, or you're going to get cakey or muddy. Or it can turn gray. And you don't want to look gray. You don't want to look dead. Just a nice thin even layer all over your face. Even setting the eyelids so the concealer doesn't crease. And then you're good to go. All right, you guys, I'll be back for part 2 in a little bit.